Righty then. I got to tell you, man, with just the two of us here, it's going to be a short show, but this is where we would have a moment from the sketch show. And actually, this is where I would show Jamel's jam, his basketball dreams. But of course, I had a few technical difficulties, so that's going to have to be next week. But next week, I'm also hoping that we can get um, Jamel and Janelle on the show. What did you think of that short little blurb that I sent you on Jamel and Janelle there, Clint?
I didn't finish reading, but Jamel and Janelle, that's his cousin or something like that, meeting somewhere.
Right, he meets his cousin on the street and they have this conversation because Janelle is quite the character.
Okay.
It's a bit that me and Jamel, we were talking, and you know how when people you meet them, they mispronounce your name, and then you come up with all these different stuff. And now that we have a space, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing my stand up. I'd like to be able to go out and do my stand up in front of an audience, but I'm going to let the people on the show be my audience, and I'm going to use our space for creating those stand up moments. It's either going to be funny, it's either going to stick, it's going to need more work, or it's going to be forget about it. And the key to comedy is if it makes you laugh, it sticks, and if it don't make you laugh, it don't.
Some people say comedy and acting, they say comedy is the hardest. And to me, it never really seemed come across that way to me. I don't know why. They say
Comedy,
in acting, comedy is harder than, dramatic roles and all that.
you know,
Why you think people say that?
when you're standing up in front of an audience,
Stand up, yes. But
that's what I'm talking about. When you're
stand up,
standing up,
I don't like public speaking, so no way I'm
right?
going to do that.
When you're standing up in front of an audience, and you like, I've written over 50 jokes, and I keep adding more every day. When you've spent that time working on those jokes, and you have them written, you have them prepared, you've practiced them, and you feel very confident that, okay, this is where I'm going to get a laugh. Okay, this is where I'm going to get a laugh. Okay, this is where I'm going to get a laugh. And then you go out there and you actually start your show. It's hard to know who's out there in the audience. So I have several things that I use to find out who's in my audience. A lot of times, because they don't have a lot of time, comedians like to jump out there and just start doing their material, not knowing who's in their audience. Well, one of the things I like to do is sing, as you can probably tell from doing the show.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I do stand up, no matter how much time I have, I like to do an improv song at the end of my set. So in order to do that, I like to get suggestions from the audience. And by getting suggestions from the audience, it gives me a feel for who's out there in the audience. So it gives me a feel for what joke to start off with. I get a few suggestions here and there. I get a feel for who the people are based on their suggestions. And then it gives me a direction to go with the jokes that I've already prepared. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But that's the hardest part of stand-up, is going out there cold turkey, not knowing your audience, not knowing what their backgrounds are, and just starting your material and
That's
them
why I
just not
heard of
getting it.
people who doing like stand-up comedy. Like you said, you gotta know your audience. Number one, you gotta have a material to deliver to what. Always be prepared in case someone want to heckle you in the crowd. You gotta have a material to fire back at him, he or her, whoever it may be, and all we have to do with your comedic timing. And once you like me, I come from a theater background. So when I'm on stage, when I don't know my audience, I could feel my audience. I'll say something, and I could feel the audience energy, and I get energy from the audience to actually deliver, so I could deliver what I need to deliver. I've never done stand up, but I've done like couple of like comedic monologues and all that and stuff. Monologues, to me, acting is easier because I create an alter ego. So when I create that personality, that character, people could say whatever they want to me. I don't ever get embarrassed. You know.
Well, the one thing with plays versus stand up is that people know what they're going to get a lot of times with plays, because a lot of plays that are produced are things that people are already familiar with, unless it's a completely original work.
Mm,
And then people come in with an expectation of being entertained. As long as you entertain them, and depending on the subject matter of the play, a lot of times they already know the subject matter of the play. I'm the type of comedian where I tell those stories about life and about those moments in life.
mm,
I'm not much of the kind of comedian that will talk about current events, unless of course people bring those up. And then of course I have many things I can say about current events, but if they lead me there, then I'll go there.